Tell me, Daniel, is this your first leading role?
Well, I was also in the Harry Potter movies.
I'm not familiar.
Amy Poehler is used to making people laugh.
Left, right.
A craft she's been working on most of her life after starting out with a small improv group. Amy hit it big as a cast member on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, God, the weather here.
Oh, it's 70 degrees outside in New York.
It's nuts.
She became a star when she played Hillary Clinton.
You know, Hillary and I don't agree on everything.
And co-anchored Weekend Update with Seth Meyers.
Well, whatever. It's been working. Ooh, ooh.
And then she left to start a family and later starred in the hipster hit series Parks and Recreation.
One time they made a piñata of my face.
And hosted the Golden Globes with her BFF, Tina Fey.
Ang Lee's been nominated for Best Director for The Life of Pi, which is what I'm going to call the 6 weeks after I take this dress off.
Now, Amy's written Yes Please,
Anyone who's written a book, I'm sure there are people here who have, yes.
part memoir,
I say in the book that nothing is anybody's business, which I believe.
part confessional, part self-help book. I sat down with her recently during her visit to Toronto. Why did you call it Yes Please?
So Yes Please is kind of a question, it's kind of an answer, and it's a nice title for my kids to say.
And it is related to improv, right? You always say yes.
Yeah, it is in some way. There's a term called yes and in improv, which is the idea of like agreeing when you're improvising, and you really can kind of only get to the next place by saying yes.
You have to support your partner.
For sure.
You're probably best known for in front of a wide audience for Saturday Night Live. You tell stories about backstage and on stage. It sounds really intense.
It is. It's the closest to being an athlete. It's it was the closest I felt to being in a sporting event because the stakes are really high. Everything is very live and last minute, and there's a lot of running around. There's a lot of hustle. It was never boring.
You saw Robert De Niro in spandex.
I did.
Was
I
that-
did. I saw Robert De Niro being led through the studio dressed as Siegfried or Roy. I don't know which one, but he sure did because he's method. Yeah, I saw a lot of backstage stuff. I saw Derek Jeter getting changed. Star after star, kind of stripped down to their bare bones, literally and emotionally. That show kind of really throws people, out there, and they have to dig deep.
So are people at all what we think they are?
Well, I found that I discovered the good versions of a lot of people, because when people are nervous, they're very nice to you. Maybe you find that in your interviews, or maybe you don't. But so usually the hosts were kind of, looking to you to say, like, how do I do this? Is this going well? So I had some really wonderful experiences with people who came in and hosted.
But you also write about being in your office crying.
Well, sure, it's a job, and it's a high stakes job, and SNL was very week to week. Some weeks you'd feel like you had really scored, and then you'd kind of have to start over again. And just like any job in the arts, there was rejection and frustration and complication and all that kind of stuff.
I brought a couple of my personal favorite moments.
Okay, great.
From Saturday Night Live.
Right, exciting. What's your code? What's your security code?
It's top secret. There we go. So a couple of videos. So this is one that you're probably best known for.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
That's the real Hillary.
Yes, the real Hillary's on the
I
right.
love your outfit, but I
thank you.
do want the earrings back.
Oh, okay.
Poor Hillary, she just laughs nothing like that.
Yeah, how did you figure out how to?
Well,
play
I'm not an especially good mimic. So when I would do characters or impressions, I would just try to find a game, like a way that I thought that they liked to interact or communicate. And Hillary's game for me was that she was frustrated by how she was portrayed and how she actually was. It was like I liked to believe that I got to say things out loud that Hillary wished she could have said. But as far as her voice and intonation, I don't think I ever really got it. And you can really tell when I'm standing next to her. It's always strange to stand next to someone dressed as them. It's always weird.
I have one more clip from
Okay.
Saturday Night Live days to show you.
Just show me a clip from Cheers or something and we can laugh about that.
This is maybe
No?
my favorite moment.
Okay. Yeah, lovely Josh Brolin.
You're so
I just
hot,
want you to
yeah.
know
There
this
you
is
go.
not a fake stomach. This is my stomach. He's into pregnant ladies. I was very
That's not
pregnant.
a
I
fake
gave birth
tummy.
4 or 5 days later. But really. But I think it might be the only sketch on SNL written about a pregnant woman by 2 pregnant women. We're in the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's pretty audacious, though, because it used to be you're supposed to hide your belly. Here you
Yeah,
are.
and the scene is just like, this guy's like, there's a line in the scene where he's like, when are you due? And I said, yesterday. And he was like, all right. That was a lot of fun. I was lucky to be able to work up until the very end. And that episode was also the episode with Governor Poehler visiting us, and I rapped and also had a person inside me. It was a really wild time.
So you're working hard.
Yeah.
And you're pregnant or having babies. Did you feel guilty?
I think any mother, working mother, is constantly fighting that feeling of, am I doing enough? You know, it's like, you know, your life is a refrigerator and every day you only get 4 magnets, you know, so it's like family, work, self-care, you know, a shower, whatever it is. And, you know, there's 4 that aren't used every day. And instead of stressing every day about the 4 that you didn't get to, I think you have to start giving yourself a break. I think the tape that we run in our heads as women is that we're really punitive and we say things to ourselves that we would never say to our friends.
It was lovely to read your book. Great to meet you.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Wendy.
Amy.
Pleasure to meet you too.